What's going on, y'all? Thanks for checking in the Khaliis Take. You know what to do. Hit that like, subscribe button. Also hit that notification bell just so you can get the newest and the bonus content first. But hey, let's just go ahead and jump right in. I gotta say, I haven't agreed with a lot of things Kyle Kuzma has said, which is he is a power forward for the Washington Wizards at the current time. But I have to agree with Kyle when he says the Clippers can compete with anybody if they're healthy. I've definitely went on record by saying that before, and I'm pretty sure a lot more people other than myself believe the same thing. And I definitely believe that they're definitely a contender if they're healthy because they got, one of the best players, arguably, to me, the best player in the league, but arguably top 2, top 5 player in the league in Kawhi Leonard and an all-star in Paul George. And the rest of the crew has shown their impact and how much they can, impact the game on both sides of the floor as well. They're just an all well-rounded team. They could use a little bit more pieces, maybe another big man, of course, a point guard, as I said before. But even with what they have, they definitely can win the championship. And I think Kyle Kuzma is more, given the Clippers high praise, I feel like Kyle Kuzma, in some weird type way, wants to play for the Clippers. I wouldn't be surprised if Kyle Kuzma is, putting out these pictures about the Clippers because, maybe he wants to play for them. Maybe he feels like, he wants to add to what the Clippers have, and maybe he feel like he can add to their dynamic. And I'm not saying that he wouldn't be a decent fit. I personally think he would be a decent fit if they had him coming off the bench, coming into games, and using his athleticism, knocking down some shots, and getting some extra rebounds because he is a power forward. He is he is a big guy. So I mean, he's got some length, he's got some size, and season him up a little bit more on defense. You got a pretty decent player in Kyle Kuzma. And I personally think Kyle Kuzma really wants to be back in LA, which is one reason why he comments on the Lakers and the Clippers a lot. He's commented on the Lakers several times earlier this past season. Now he's commenting a little bit more on the Clippers. He started commenting on the Clippers after they blew a 35-point lead to the Clippers in a bad way, but now he's speaking on them more of in a good way, which is, maybe his cue and his sign of maybe he wants to come back to LA and he misses that LA lifestyle, because going from LA to Washington is a huge difference. There's just no doubt about it. DC is cool, been there, stayed there, but nothing like home LA. So, we have to respect that for what it is. And LA is definitely one of the, staples of all states out there. I mean, it's just a place where most people want to be, or at least at some point in their life. So I can see Kyle Kuzma wanting to rekindle with where he was and how he started his career in LA and kind of stay there. That's what he wants to do. And it sounds like that because to me, I don't know. I just feel like he wants to be back in LA. I don't feel like he felt like he got a fair trade with the Lakers. So maybe he's thinking possibly jump ship with the Clippers. Who knows? But the compliment he gave towards the Clippers, nevertheless, is a good one. And nevertheless, it's the right one, because the Clippers are definitely a problem when they're healthy. No doubt about it. And they will be a problem going forward if they can stay healthy. And the biggest problem with them, though, is their health, which, becomes a crazy situation because you see all the talent, you see everything they have, but they have to find a way to put it all together. And the only way they're going to do that is stay healthy and build the chemistry they need to make the run they need to make in the playoffs next season. Because as I said before, I think next season is really their last year of trying to make that run, really, because the team is not going to be the same after that. There's going to be more trades, contracts that are up. Like I said, that's the 2-year, I think, the second year into the contract of Kawhi and PG, where they had the option to make other moves if they chose to. So, it's a lot that goes into next season for the Clippers, and they have to make sure they come out of next season with fulfillment. And the only way they're going to do that is bare minimum to make it to a finals, of course, and or win one. And the Clippers know that at this point. At this point, they're no dummies. They know that next year is pretty much their ceiling, in regards to it, because it'll be 3 years they've been together and the operation hasn't worked. And, seeing the Lakers win one in the bubble, whether it's got an asterisk beside it or not, they did get a championship. So the Clippers have to be able to mimic that and get to a championship themselves and give themselves an opportunity to win it. I mean, because making it to a finals for the Clippers would be really good because they've never been to one, I don't think, or at least not in this century that I know of. So or at least it's been a long time, I'll say, since they ever have been to one. But my point is, they have to try to win a championship. That's what the whole operation is about. It's a bust if it's not, whether it's with Kawhi, PG, or whoever, on the floor. They need all them players on the floor. They need everybody. They need everybody to pinch in. They need everybody's help. They need everybody's assistance, because this is the year they got to do it, because if you have too many failures, that's the only thing people know you by. You have to have some successes there too. And the success for the Clippers ultimately will be winning the championship, because they're just a championship contending team. I mean, you look how their role players did this year in winning all those games without Kawhi and PG. It tells you the core they have built around those two superstars is good enough, and the coach is definitely good enough. The GM, Jerry West, is a good recruiter. Steve Ballmer's willing to spend all this money as he's done. You got to find a way to come through, and that's just what it's all about. And this team is built to do it. I mean, and Steve Ballmer knows it. Jerry West, Ty Lue, Kawhi, everybody, they know this team is built enough to do it. They just have to go ahead and do it. As I said, they got the new stadium coming and everything like that, new arena, having their own identity with the Intuit arena and everything like that, which is good for the Clippers. They need that. They need their own identity. They need to get away from the shadows of the Lakers and everything like that, as they always have been, to have their own identity. But in saying that, to have your own identity is to have your own identity in a way that some other teams don't have, which is acquiring a championship. And the only way for them to do that is to go out there and win it, but be healthy enough to do it. It's really no excuses this year. It just has to be done. And that's just the way it is. And, the Clippers are a good team by doing things by committee, but they need all their pieces to make that final run to win a championship. So there again, Kyle Kuzma's right. They can compete with anybody when they're healthy. I mean, no doubt about it. I mean, even with the team they have right now, I've been saying they need a point guard, or at least a backup point guard. With the team they got now, they can win a championship. The backup point guard would more or less solidify them, more so as a contender, even more, because they got more depth in regards to running the offense when Kawhi and PG sits down, and not asking Kawhi and PG to average 6-7 assists apiece. Now they can kind of freestyle and play the way they really like to, which is scoring the basket, scoring as they always do, putting the ball in the basket and playing at a high level, and playing a high level on defense. So, that would even them out a little bit more, smooth them out a little bit more, maybe add another big man in there too. I don't think that'll hurt as well, maybe having a third big man, or, something like that. Maybe if they decide to trade Zubac, I hope they don't, but I'm not sure whether they will or not. You hear names about like Marcus Morris and some others like that as well. So, you have to just see what happens in the offseason. But I mean, as far as the Clippers, like I said, they have the opportunity that most teams don't. They got perimeter scoring, defense on both ends. There's really no reason why they can't take it the distance. And, they gotta, make the playoffs this year, which of course I know they will if they're healthy and everything like that. But they got to make the playoffs with a purpose, and that's going out to win it all. And winning it all is not easy by any means, especially when you're on your last season, pretty much probably to win it all. And I'm not literally saying it's the Clippers' last season to win it all, but when you think about Reggie Jackson's contract will be up, other players' contracts will be up. You got to factor all that in when you're trying to win a championship with the team that you've kind of built chemistry with, and you're used to the guys in the locker room the way they're constructed now. So like I said, I don't know if Kyle Kuzma is trying to recruit his way back to LA or anything like that. I mean, I think the Clippers can possibly use him. I'm not saying they'll go after him or anything like that, but if they, let Marcus Morris go or something like that, they could use his size and his length for rebounds and things like that. I don't think he's a good 3-point shooter as Marcus Morris. I personally wouldn't, trade him for Marcus Morris. I personally wouldn't, but I mean, who knows what the Clippers might do in regards to their decision and everything like that. I think Kyle Kuzma's a good player, but I don't know if he's exactly what the Clippers would need or will want to have. I don't really feel like he will upgrade him or make him any better just because he's a power forward. And, of course, Marcus Morris is a power forward, and I think Marcus Morris is the one they're shopping the most or looking at the most. but I don't think that'd be a trade they would want to do. Me personally, I think they would maybe might want to back off that one. I'm not sure. I don't feel like he'll be a better fit for them than what Marcus Morris already is. Even though Marcus Morris is inconsistent, but Kyle Kuzma's inconsistent too. So I mean, that's not really bettering your situation. That's almost like the predicament or the situation that you're already in about inconsistency, or in regards to inconsistency of a player. So I don't really feel like they should go that route. But I will say Kyle Kuzma definitely has a point in what he's saying about the Clippers. And, I definitely want to see the Clippers make that move next year and see how they pan out and see how the season goes, because I definitely think Kawhi and the rest of the crew is motivated to do so. And hopefully they actually live up to what we all believe they can be, which is, NBA champions. But hey, that's my take on everything. Leave any comments in the comment section as always. And hey, Cali out.